Hello and welcome to another update video on XRP. Here, looking at the shorter time frame for XRP, we can see that the market is still grinding sideways in a very tight range. Don't think too much needs to be said about this chart right now, but I wanted to give you the typical daily update on XRP because it is one of the most popular and often most requested charts on this channel in our community. So I just wanted to give you some peace of mind here. For now, there is no change. The analysis can remain very consistent. Yes, we had a bit of a sell-off yesterday, but yes, the triangle pattern we discussed is technically still valid. But don't expect necessarily an upside breakout necessarily, because first of all, the price would need to give us 5 waves up to actually believe that. Okay, this would be the yellow count. Just a roadmap that needs to be followed to give us really that 5-wave sequence that we need to see to really believe that on the 5th of June, a wave 2 bottomed. I personally don't really believe it yet. It would really need to prove it. And the reason is that this structure here, it just looks very messy. I mean, technically speaking, I could say, hey, maybe we simply formed a wider wave 2. So basically, this was a wave 1, and then an A wave down, a B wave. This is clearly 3 waves up. And this looks a bit like 5 waves down. So maybe it's an ABC structure. That's the main reason for the yellow count to still be on the chart. The invalidation point is clear. It's this swing low at $2.06. That's the invalidation point for the yellow count. And I think, yeah, I mean, to the yellow count, we can make one adjustment, because it looks a bit like a 5-wave move down. So technically speaking, this could be a flat correction. But the depth of the pullback and the fact that it has retraced now to that level twice, indicates to me, well, this is, if it is a wave 2, a very deep one and a very weak one. So the chances for a 3rd wave breakout are slim, but they are there because we haven't broken below invalidation yet. So good reward to risk ratio. The 3rd wave could take us to 250 or so, but again, I prefer for now the blue count. It needs to prove me wrong by breaking above $2.33. Then I'll be impressed. Then I, however, still need to see more than just this rally. I need to see all 5 waves. Okay, so just another rally isn't going to be enough, because it could just be an extended B wave. So what really the communication here is that it's very likely this is some kind of a B wave, and one way this B wave could unfold is a triangle, which would be invalidated above 234. Then I have to consider different structure for the B wave. I can really only rule out the B wave, which should lead to a C wave decline if we get 5 waves up. And then it typically should be corrected again by a corrective pullback. That gives us another 1-2 setup, okay? And then the rally should start. So for now, we have for higher prices a very clear invalidation point. For directly higher prices, okay, breaking below it, below $2.06, will shift the focus to $1.79, which is the 78.6 retrace level, and typically one of the typical and very common support levels for such a wave 2, which we're tracking in the blue scenario. So bottom line is blue count remains preferred. Yellow count needs to prove itself. Yellow count isn't unlikely, or it wouldn't be on the chart. But it would only be classed, let's say, as the 2nd most likely scenario here in this case, or 3rd most likely, because we need to still consider that even a breakout to the upside above these highs from Monday and Wednesday, it could simply be a wider B wave, let's say it like that. So overall, choppy price action, sideways consolidation. I wouldn't expect too much movement over the weekend here. I think we're just dealing here with some sideways consolidation. Even in the blue count here, a bit more of a bounce like wave E would be ideal, I think, because while there is no technical minimum target for an E wave in a triangle, which is like the last wave or leg before a breakdown, we would still like to see ideal proportions, ideally, right? So yeah, that is something to track, something to check here. So I'd say in the range breakout points are very clear, and if we break out to the upside, then don't vibrate out of your chairs yet. Okay, we first want to see 5 waves up. Also, if you're interested in additional updates, make sure to check out our X profile. You can find it linked in the video description for additional updates. You can ask questions. I'll be there for a few more hours to reply to questions and everything. So check it out. And I wish you a great weekend. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.